Hi everybody. So, as promised, here is my tier list and my impressions of this meta game, until they nerf Djinni, that is. So, after they changed Djinni, Gentle Djinni, from 6 stars to 5 stars, and Little Rag from 5 stars to 6 stars, I knew that was a mistake. I knew that was abusable. Because very often, I would have to discover between Little Rag, Bran, and Nomi, let's say. And I felt Little Rag is the worst of them. I felt Bran is better, Nomi is better. And depending on how fast the game is, either you pick Bran if you think you need to win quickly, or you pick Nomi if you feel like the game is going to go longer. I would never pick Little Rag comparable to those. So, at the same time, Djinni is super powerful because it's basically a better Nat Pagel. He's a Nat Pagel that gives you a minion on the board and an insane minion into the hand. An average elemental is way better than a random minion that Nat Pagel gives you. And the power of Djinni is that even if you're Tavern 4, he can give you a 6-star. He can give you a Little Rag. He can give you Gar. He can give you like something very powerful. So if you discover early Djinni, then you level to 5, get Nomi, you're gonna just win the game most of the time because you're gonna assemble such a powerful board that nobody can stop you. You need to high roll a little bit. He can also give you Almagadon. But basically the whole meta is centered around pushing taverns, pushing triples, discovering 5s. If you miss on 5s, depending on how the lobby goes, you either stay on 4 and try to build yourself strong to beat everybody that doesn't high roll, and then try to finish like 5th or 6th or something like that. Or you push to 5 if you're strong enough and you miss, especially with heroes such as Omo. You push to 5, and then you hope you get Nomi or Djinni, and then you hope you can still build yourself to be strong enough to compete with the people that discovered Nomi or Djinni. So, the best hero in the game, in my opinion, hands down, hands up, however you want to say it, Jandice. Why is Jandice so powerful? Well, she's just basically old hook task. She can triple with 1 token. The strategy is, if you get offered the Alicat or the Murloc guy. By the way, Jandice gets way worse if there's no Murlocs. Because a lot of strategies right now, if you miss on the Djinni, you can still just play full Murlocs and do pretty well against people that go full Elementals. I won plenty of games in the tournament, and I think you can finish like top 3 very consistently as well with Murlocs. I'll talk about the metagame at the end of the video. But Jandice just wants token generator. You play it on 1, you switch, you freeze, turn 2 you level, you freeze again, and then you buy token generator, switch it back, sell whatever minion is not a token, buy token generator again, triple. And then depending on your strength, you either play the triple there, discover a free drop, and then use the token generator to triple again, and then with the second triple you discover a 5. Or if you're wide enough, you just hold the token in your hand and you play it on turn 4. On Tavern 4. Basically, you level on 7 gold, and then on 8 gold you go Tavern 4, play the triple, you discover 5. So it depends on the power. In the tournament, I got away with doing this by holding, so 1 turn faster. Because I was facing my teammate. I got lucky to face my teammate, and he would take me easy, and then I would just power level like crazy, discover Djinni, win the game. Also, Jandice is super overpowered because if you get Little Rag, for example, you can switch back a 6-star elemental every single turn. If you have Nomi on Jandice and you switch back an elemental, he gets the buffs of the Nomi, so you can rebuff a minion instead of selling it, and you advance your turn by 1 every single turn, or 2 if you do it like on a generator. It's really powerful. So yeah, Jandice best hero in the game by far. And I got to play her a couple of times this tournament, and I didn't forgive the lobby. Whenever I got my hands on Jandice, I was destroying it. Rafam, second best hero in the game. Why? Easy to triple. Powerful, easy triples. There's no better combination right now. And can easily, naturally discover 5 drops. Why do I have Milhouse so high? By the way, I feel like the tier A heroes are very close to the tier S heroes. Like, Jandice and Rafam are not that much better than tier A. They are not that much better than tier B either. Like, anything up to tier B, I was super happy to play in tournament level. If I was offered heroes under tier B is when it gets more complicated and more complex. But tier B is very powerful as well. I like Milhouse. So, Milhouse is only better than the others in his row if dragons are in. If there's no dragons, Milhouse gets a bit weaker. Why is Milhouse strong? Has the best early game, high chance to triple. If you triple, you can super easily discover a 5. Or if dragons are in and you want to, you can discover a 6. If they're gonna nerf Djinni, for example, Milhouse is still gonna be good and you're just gonna discover 6s. I mean, if they nerf Djinni to discover only your tavern or lower, he'll still be very good. Just not insta-win. And probably gonna pick Nomi over Djinni on the discoveries. Anyways, I digress. Milhouse really good because early game plus triples. Omu really good because powers up. And with Omu, even if you miss the discover of a 5, if you're strong enough, you can just push to 5 manually and then roll. And then stay on 5 for a while. Maiev is the triple queen even though she got nerfed. You have to be careful how you play Maiev now. I would not hero power on 1 unless I got token generator or unless I got 3 all full minions. If I get like Scallywag or a 2-3 or whatever, something strong, I'll just buy it and then turn to buy hero power. I would almost never hero power as Maiev again on 1 because you're gonna lose too much health and I don't think you can afford it. Lich King is right now really good, mostly because you can hero power the Djinni if you get it. But even without Djinni, he's okay. Even if they hotfix Djinni, he's gonna just be good for that. But if they nerf elementals as a whole, I'm not super big fan of Lich King. But right now he's good. Right now he's really good. He's just consistent early game. Doesn't give you a leveling advantage, doesn't give you a triple advantage, but it gives you just power during the fights. I guess he's also very good with Spawn of Nuzov. Byron even there, stuff like that. Lich King is very good, yeah. Reno is very good just because there's so many 5s that if you hit, you just insta-win. Bran, Djinni, Nomi. Any of those you discover, hero power, bam bam, easy. Daryl is very powerful because we have a high amount of Divine Shields. And the way you play Daryl, so you go to Tavern 3. If you offer Divine Shield, you dance it. And then you stay a bit more. If you offer the triple, you go Tavern 4, try to discover Djinni. If you don't discover Djinni, you just stay on 4 the whole game and play normally. If you discover Djinni, you try to play Elementals. And then you have to go to 5 at some point, catch Nomi. If you get offered the Divine Shield in the meantime, you probably still dance on it. But a lot of the games with Daryl, Habu Gabu, my teammate for the tournament, was playing it as well like that. Just stay on Tavern 3 the whole game almost and dance Divine Shields. It's pretty boring but efficient in the current meta game because you're going to beat out everybody who doesn't high roll. Obviously, you're going to lose to the guy with 200 elementals, but you're going to beat the other people, so that's pretty good. Alakir got a bit worse in the meta because he's basically a Lich King that cannot high roll the Djinni. You don't have any leveling advantage, you just have fight advantage. Alakir is still very good. I would pick it over Sir Finley, so I would pick Alakir over rerolling. I would put Alakir in tier A. He's just barely not tier A. Very solid. Just you win fights and then you use the fact that you win fights to like go to 4, try to triple. If you don't triple, go to 5. But if you go to 5, it's already like risky. You can always just buy the Spore if you are on 5. Just put Spore first. Abuse your hero power. The one reason why I don't like Alakir is because I like Spawn of Nuzov a lot. And Alakir and Spawn don't go too well together. But still, pretty good. Sir Finley is just obviously always kind of in that ballpark of top 10 heroes. If you don't hit a top 10 hero, or if you want to high roll, you can just pick Sir Finley. To be honest, on ladder, very often, I'll just pick Keltis or Yogg over Finley. But I rate Finley so highly just because of how powerful Jandice and Fam are. I don't know, it's up to you. Yogg and Keltis, just consistent. They give you like power leveling potential. They can play most things. Nosdormu, very good at making triples. That's why he's there. Sindragosa is really high power level in my opinion. If you open with token generator on Sindragosa, that's including Celemental. So now you have 3 token generators, Alicat, Murloc, and Celemental. She's very good. She gives you like a lot of stats. You can power level. Low chance to triple, but you can power level to the extent that you can just go Tavern 4 before others. And like basically you level on 7 to 3. And then if you're not offered anything good, and if you're strong enough, you just go to 4 next turn, roll. Spend 1 or 2 turns on 4, try to triple. If not, you just go to 5. She's good. I like her. Edwin, not the biggest fan of Edwin. He's good in like max meta game. He's okay with beasts like Hydra. I don't know, Edwin is just more like a hero that if you don't high roll early, you can just play it super safe, stay Tavern 3, Tavern 4, buff your guys and try to semi-deril it. I guess I maybe should rate Rakanishu a bit higher, because Rakanishu can also do the same thing as Edwin. But I don't know, I'm just not getting the same feeling as I do on Edwin. Maybe I need to play Rakanishu more. That's like the one underrated hero. I didn't play it at all, because I never got the spot where I had Rakanishu and like ultra garbage. So Maybe Rakanisha is like the hero that I'm underrating. Deathwing I hate, but it's also like I have to accept it's a decent hero. If you have mechs and if you have beasts, sometimes dragons. It's not that good with elementals, but can play them if you triple into Djinni. Sky Captain. In a power leveling meta, you would expect him to be better, but yeah, actually, this meta is more about going to 4 while you're strong and while you can discover a 5 than about power leveling. This guy can just keep tower 4, go to 5, but like, what if you don't roll into Nomi or into Djinni, you're gonna die. So I still think it's a decent hero, better than like most others, but he's not amazing. He's okay. Elise is very good, but just again because I like her, I like the playstyle of like just be strong, level up to discover stuff. You can push taverns pretty quickly, but you're still gonna be 1 turn behind the great heroes, or 2 turns behind sometimes. Shemvala is good, but it needs to high roll elementals. You have to force elementals, and you have to like force elementals successfully, which is not guaranteed. The Murloc guy is good because Murlocs are good, but again, you need to force Murlocs. If you open on 2-1, you're gonna have a good game, otherwise probably not. By the way, if you manage to force perfect Murloc comp, so basically 6 Murlocs out of which 2 of them are Amalgadon, out of which you also have Selfless, maybe Selfless Baron, you beat anything. You beat elementals as well. It's just Murlocs are very hard to build. They require a lot of things and a lot of stats. Bran, just also Murloc Force hero. Toki, because you can power level and do some shenanigans. Get 5s with hero power. You can also miss though, so I don't know. Curator, because Bran is very good still. Bran is the best thing after Nomi. Maleficent, because forcing max is fine for like a top 4. George, the same. I hate Ragnaros, but I saw people doing pretty well with Ragnaros. Ragnaros now just replaced Cat. If you want late game hero, if you feel the game is going late, Ragnaros is your Cat. He's just strictly better Cat. But still pretty slow sometimes, and you need to get lucky. And play slower than other heroes. And playing slow in this metagame kind of sucks. Because everybody just wants to rush. Shadowwalk for Murlocs, mostly. Again, all these Murloc heroes, if there's no Murlocs, don't pick them. AFK, still the Dragon start, the Deflector start is pretty decent. I don't know. And then try to snowball from there. Not the biggest fan of AFK. Not the biggest fan of Barov because some fights are unpredictable right now. But it's a decent hero. It's basically a slightly better leech because you don't have to pay with health. Alex I never liked, but if you get two Khazar-Gors or Kalegos or like anything, it's pretty good, but I'm not the biggest fan of Alex. You have to like have a good early game and then get semi-lucky on dragons. I don't know. Eudora, high roll Fiesta. If you open with a token generator, it's pretty decent. Otherwise, you kind of have to YOLO and discover a 5. You're in luck that discovering a 5 is pretty good in this meta game, but if you miss on your 5 or if you miss on your golden minion, pretty rough. And once they're gonna fix Djinni, I think Eudora is gonna be close to unplayable. Like now the only saving grace is that you can just YOLO and you're like 20 health, discover a Djinni, and you get a golden minion, maybe a 3 or a 4. And then you can do some things. Leech. It's a power leveling and triple meta, so Leech is pretty good at that. But if you miss couple of things, if you lose one unlucky fight, you're out. Like, if you watched my games on even Jandice, I go to like 20 health very often because you need to kind of play a little bit aggressively to be able to maximize your chance for triples and discover ahead of the time. And if you do that and you play Leech, you might very easily die. It's a very thin line. I'm pretty sure in the best hands, maybe Leech is, I don't know, tier B or C. Cat, pretty good, but probably worse than it ever was, just because Ragnaros does the same thing but better. And people generally want to rush to 5. And I don't know, the people that die don't really have amazing minions, so they're not going to be able to feed you. Also, you're the most likely hero to die. And I don't know, even if you reach late game, can you really feed off people's compositions to beat them? It feels like in this metagame it's super hard to do that. Because 1 or 2 Malgadons are not going to cut it to win the game. Galakrant because he can high roll, but like, I don't know, not the biggest fan. Rakanisha I need to play more. I'm pretty sure he's probably better than I rated him. But I didn't play it at all, so I don't know where to put him. Just better than Pyramid. Pyramid is literally only good with Murlocs. Arana, I still hear some stories from people that say that they do really well with Arana Elementals. I haven't seen anybody doing well in my lobbies, but there's some possibility of that happening. Hook Task also for Elementals and early game triples. Jiraxus Force Demons can be like semi-decent. Tess, I never played her, but I saw some people doing decently. Ideally, just Murlocs, maybe. I don't know. Molly goes for triples, Rat King for the high roll. And the rest, I guess Patrick is like decent. Now with the buff, he's 55 health. Zera, the way I would play Zera is just like try to get token generator and then level up and then get 2 dragons and then 2 more dragons and then, I don't know, force dragons into triples. Triple discover 5. Zera could be playable. Maybe I should have put it playable. And then the others I would never play. I don't know. You can force pirates on Patris and do something rough. Anyways, this is my experience with the metagame. Basically, the way I play is try to force elementals. If I don't get to play elementals, I would love to play Murlocs. I think Murlocs are better than previous metagame. If I don't get to play elementals and Murlocs, I try to generally play Menagerie with Bran, basically. Or sometimes with Lightfang. If I cannot play Menagerie, or elementals, or Murlocs, I'll try to play mechs or some Divine Shield stuff to just not die. Sometimes Soul Juggler can be amazing. Can even win lobbies. Yeah, Soul Juggler comps can be pretty good. Can just kill people really quickly before they manage to scale their elementals. It's rare, but it can happen. Pirates, the same. If you get like super early Golden Hogar or something, you can like kill people quick. But I wouldn't put my money on it. And dragons are still good. They're just weaker than elementals. Unless you manage to scale like crazy. And it's just generally way easier to get Nomi or to get Djinni than to get Kalegos. If they fix Djinni, I'm sure Kalegos is going to be back on the menu as like one of the best 6s to discover. I mean, Kalegos is the best 6 to discover to scale into game winning. So, yeah, dragons are still very good. It's just that they're a bit weaker than before. But every single tribe is playable somehow. I just want to start every single game trying to play elementals, but if I don't, I'm fine playing something else. Ideally, Murlocs. But you can play some other things and do pretty well as well. So yeah, that's my experience with the metagame. If they're going to fix it, I'm going to try to do another video after I play a couple of days. But until then, just enjoy this information and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the channel, because I'm going to try to be very active on YouTube. Tomorrow, we're going to try to upload the victories of today. And it was a pretty amazing day, a pretty amazing tournament. I don't know. I feel like I understand this meta close to perfectly. It doesn't really happen that often to be able to beat the best players in the world. Because they literally invited top 8 players from the ladder. And I got to invite as a streamer because they invited 8 of the best players in the world and 8 streamers. So it's pretty crazy that I was understanding the metagame so well that I managed to beat the best players in the world. And I don't know if I'm going to catch a metagame where I'm doing so well. Because am I the best? No, I'm not the best. I might be the best in this metagame, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure some streamers, for example, even from the streamers, have just better base raw battleground skills. So, I don't know, I'll try to improve myself. I'll try to not get too cocky after one victory. And I'll try to keep my ego in check as well. I mean, I like to believe in myself. I just don't want to be too cocky. That's about it. So yeah, thank you for joining me along the journey. And I'll see you on stream, I guess. And in the next videos. Thank you for watching.